Welcome to 437 edition of InvestData Academy live with Ambrose. Here, this is a live market as usual. But if you look at what is happening globally, I'll tell you that the market, at the global scene are in green. While NGS here, looking at Africa, was seeing that our market is a bit down as a result of what profit taking. And I'm not surprised. This is the first, Friday of the month of July, and at the same time, the first trading week of the month, we're seeing a mixed market down here in Nigeria. But looking to foreign market, international market, I see that the market in that domain has been in green, and despite also the mixed sentiment we've seen so far. But all eyes are in that mature market are still on what on labor report, and also because this labor report determine what Fed will be doing in their next meeting. But Fed has already signaled that September they are likely to start cutting rate. But all eyes are still what on macroeconomic data, coming from US. Other we have seen that in China, in Europe, macroeconomic data coming there remain mixed. Not only that, we're also seeing that most of the macroeconomic data that are emanated from this environment are not bad at all. Despite their mix, it's a sign that yes, that the global economy is recovering gradually after the central banks, major central banks have discussed that interest rate hike has pushed a lot of mature economy into a tight corner in terms of what in terms of cost of borrowing, and because the government of this domain are not finding it easy, and for that they are kind of what called liquidity freeze most of this for that with no kickoff of a rate cut from ECB, which I said earlier last week that Canada have followed suit, where the Bank of England and others want to do the same. But as we speak now, look at what is happening in the Asia market. Asia stocks, as we speak, are mixed, having a mixed bag on this day, with China shares sliding further into the south as a result of the Europe the European tariff on China import will take effect. That has also put that that domain or that country, the market in that. For South Korea, we are seeing a kind of a lift in terms of performance in their market. We are seeing that gains in Samsung has also impacted that market in South Korea. But on the broader market performance, most of the market in Asia are expressing what we call side trending, or what we call the range bound in technical analysis. But I tell you, in an expectation of what this key, US non-farm payroll data later today to give insight of what has happened. And don't forget, I said it on Wednesday that this data is what also the US Fed is looking more to see how after the US market have experienced a kind of had a holiday on Thursday, but also because of election sentiment that is also heating up in US gradually, seeing Biden and Trump. We're also seeing that investors are also looking at where they were looking at, expecting that the mixed sentiment they are seeing, even when we are seeing some sentiment cooling over rate cut immediately, as factored in by what factor in cautious trading in that environment, because most of the US major index are also mixed as to speak. And for me, it's also what is also driving the mixed market we are seeing this morning in this mature market. But for me, there also like I said, Chinese stocks are in the red as a result of what EU also kicking off their sanction on China transportation, and most of the stock there are worst performing stock this day in China. Most of their index are in red, reflecting the impact of this European tariff on Chinese electronic vehicle import. And don't forget that Europeans are the major trade partner with China. That means any move they are taking is going to have an effect. But also, the two biggest economy in the world, US and China, and they all have partner with what? With Europe and Africa also. But with all this coming, and also what is happening in Ukraine and Russia, and what is also happening in Middle East, we are seeing that concerns are over the oil market, which is the commodity market also. But if you look at what is happening in Japan, Japan is also recorded a high this week. Despite also the weak yen, we're also seeing, but see the market in Japan are looking up. If you look at their major index there, the Nikkei 225 index is also in the green on Friday. For me, it's also a good one for them. And also, recent strength in Japan market is also driven by the export-oriented stocks. Know that are surging as a result of what weak yen. You can see that in an economy where you are an exporter, when you have a weak currency, it attracts sales and also volume of trade. That also is reflecting, and also this is where to boost some of the company's performance in Japan. And also don't forget that Bank of Japan also thinking of how to to kind of start tightening their policy and see how they can reduce the importation of what of bond in that domain. This are also what is shaping Japan market as we speak. Like I said, that oil price is heading to hit what another week high this week. Despite that, as we speak now, the price of oil is flat around above 87 dollar and 22 cents as we speak now. But if you look at also what is happening in Europe market, I think that most of the stocks there are in green. European stocks are edging up. Why? Because of what result of this UK election result, and also all eyes are still focused on what on US payroll. These are also what is shaping the market in Europe. And like I said earlier, all prices are still on oil tracking the world another weekly gain for this week. As demand for summer also is falling is when US inventory is also declining. These are the things that also important. But if you look at also Germany industrial production that slumped to 2.5 on the month of May, while the French also equivalent is about also fall about 2.1% also, just to signal that the weakness of or the weak economic performance in that eurozone heading toward to this summer months. But don't forget that the European Central Bank by this time has cut interest rate last month, but we have not seen impact reflecting this month of June. But let's see, looking forward before the end of this quarter to start seeing that ease of fund was also going to part most company. But I tell you, it's a good move they are taking by cutting rates so that the economy will also breathe out in terms of performance. Cost of fund as a way of a pattern also the economy. But UK politics is changing, and that's also what all eyes and both in UK and also in that eurozone. Frontliners, or front online of investors are giving attention on this Friday to see that the opposition Labour Party moving towards winning the parliamentary election. This also going to change almost ending the 14 years reign of the conservative government. This also what is also don't forget that anytime it's election they are bound to be what they are shuffling of portfolio that is going on also in Europe as we speak. But despite that, the market European zone was seeing that most stocks there are also in green as we speak. For me, it's a good news for European market. Yes, finally we look at what is happening in China and Africa what's happening in US and Africa as large. But if you look at US market is following the trend of yesterday. Despite that it was holiday in their market, but open on a positive note there. I think that most of the indices there are open higher this morning in expectation of a labor report, and that also will give a kind of a clue, like I said earlier, what Fed will be doing in their coming Fed meeting. But there is already a pointer that in September they might see rate cuts coming now. But the Fed chairman and the policymakers are thinking that yes, they have to also focus more on economic data before they will arrive on rate cut. But for me, it's a good one that Friday being the last trading day, we are seeing that most of the market across the world are in green, while here in Nigeria we are seeing a pullback as a result of profit taking that started in the last week of June to end the June positive, and that started this week again. Now, despite that, the first trading day of the month of July, we saw a negative market. We're seeing an uptrend since then. But now we saw a pullback yesterday, and that trend is also coming. That's when market form a double top or a top reversal. You have to also recognize it. It gives the sign. This what we are seeing a pullback this hour on the NGS. We are not surprised. Like I was saying, back to US market is also looking good, and you say once we see some easing in labor demand, and also this also my fuel for Fed to rate cut this year, because that is also a pointer for them to take decision in that regard. These are the things that will also have at the back of our mind. It's very, very important that we are seeing. But also, Samsung Electronics said, it's expected to see, a 15 full jump in income in their second quarter. That this also thanks to what swell demand for artificial intelligence. You can see how companies. That's why we in Nigeria here, we must look at sector rotation will not stop, because we want to look at where either government policy, monetary or physical, food sector, or even innovation technology is driving their performance is very, very key. And that's why when we're seeing kind of a change in the insurance sector, and those that have been following us in Belgium, I have been thinking on that, and that is happening. And I can see that the trend that we're seeing in the insurance sectors that also that calls for attention, that we need to take position and watch, because a lot of watch, especially as all eyes are what on the half-year result kick off in a month from now, from next week, especially for the early filers like Infinity Trust Mortgage and David Trust Mortgage. We expect to see the result from next week, or if not today, let's keep our finger crossed and look at them. But for me, the today's market is back now after the independent holiday. It's good that all those markets are also in green. All eyes on what, like I said earlier, on labor report. Samsung is heading up because of also as labor figure is expected to slide. Once it slides, that is also a good indication of rate cut to kick off any moment, like I've said in September. Yes, back to our market now. Before we look at the momentum we're taking today is investing with momentum and also looking at the time frame. Time frame is very, very important when it comes to what investing. That's why I say we're going to look at it now. We're going to do a more technical analysis today, using about almost 8 minutes or more than 10 minutes to look at that, so that will give us an insight what we expect. Like I said earlier, that African market is mixed, Nigeria market is not left behind. We're seeing pulling back after this 100,388.8 remain a strong resistance level for the market. Now they are tested it again before pulling back. But one thing you want to look at the momentum, and when I look at the momentum, we must look at our money flow and what our MACD. These are the major momentum indicator that's very, very important. Why the time frame is, are you looking at a day chart? When you look at a day chart will give you the sentiment and activities of people or their psychology for that day. If you are looking at 1 minute chart, looking at 5 minutes chart, you are looking at 1 hour chart, it represents also the activities of market players. I don't forget that this market player, because of their attitude, their psychology, they move direction, and what drives them is either positive news from government policy, positive news from earnings season, positive news from either acquisition or acquisition or merger acquisition, and also when new management or new board, also new MD. All these are news that will drive sentiment. Also, you can see that as we are seeing more notification from components against their close period and board meeting, I see that the sentiment in the market is changing and market psychology is also changing. Even when you see that what we call a circular flow of funds is going in and out, because all eyes are also for what with the decision of FPC meeting comes their meeting. What are they going to do? Are they going to adjust rate after we have seen 3 consecutive month of slowdown in terms of inflation on month-to-month basis? Why on year-to-year we are seeing inflation also hitting new high, which also got reflected recently on the data that was released by Standard IBTC in terms of positive margin index that have hit 7 months low as a result of what high inflation and at the same time low purchasing power of Nigeria. These are the things that is also changing the market sentiment. But people want to look at the market data, then finally come to how to trade with momentum and at the same time the time frame that I just mentioned. But looking at momentum, you must look at what your money flow that give direction is from leaving the market or leaving the stock, individual stock. Also what the momentum. When you see that MACD is above the signal line, that is a bullish MACD. Momentum is high. But when we see that MACD is below the signal line, it tells you that means that then it's also at the same time telling you that there is that the market, the stock or the market is on a bearish situation. You need to understand that once it happens, it tells you where the momentum. So also you can use your volume. Volume tells you that when you see a market that is rallying up, getting to at the peak, you see with volume that you are not expected. Most I say we always like when that the party is over. Also, when you see new volume and when the market is already at this what we call the demand zone, you see a volume, it also give you a signal. That's why if you really want to understand how to trade momentum and time frame, you must factor in what your volume with also with the help of your support and resistance level. You must not trade this market even when you are going to putting resistance and support level out or volume at the same time frame, because time frame will help you to know the structure of the market at different time and what is happening. That also, like I said, candlestick will also give you a very summary of what is the psychology or what is the sentiment of the people in the market. That is why you don't need to play with all this when you are taking your investment decision. They are very, very critical when it comes to what trading momentum and time frame. Yes, we will come to the chart now to look at it. Very critical, bringing our normal MACD and our money flow and also our what we call T line. Whose T line is also a moving average exponential 8 for 8 days moving average exponential, which is also very, very key because you need to understand that. But once you understand it, it will help you also to know exactly what you are doing in the market to stay afloat and also to remain in profit, because you are in the market to make profit. You are not in the market to look at event happening. You are there to what, to cash in and cash out and also smile to the bank. Once you do this, you are already in profit, and also you know exactly when to what cut your loss, and because market changes, and when you cut your loss because what attracted you to that particular position started to disintegrating, and at the same time if there's a negative news that that pull it down, you sell off, and that is why the help of your stop loss and your what and your profit target will help you to know exactly what to do at that particular time. That's why you don't guess when you are trading, and that's why I tell people that any successful trader or investor in the market should know how to have to effectively combine fundamental and technical analysis when making what investment decision. I think this market is delivering value for what for investors since post COVID-19 market has remained in the green. You can check the trend. If you change the trend here, that's why I say it's on time frame. If you look at this time frame here now on a month by month time frame, you can see that how the market has performed. Look at where the market moved from around the April, March 2020 up to now. Market has remained in the green. Up, it has created wait for investor as to speak. Yes, just before we continue, the market data as to speak now, market is down below the 100,000 mark after it has tested the 100,000 388.8. As we speak now, market has pulled back as a result of profit taking in some stock. But good thing is that some stock that have really rallied this morning, earlier we have seen Uganda going as high as 17 naira, but has pulled back to 16 naira 90 kobo, which is not a bad one. But we need to also watch other market. But if you look at market is doing 99,966.98, down by 96.40 basic point, down by 0.1%, 0.12%, as we speak now. But if you look at market the what market internal, which is very, very important also for us to know at any given time. The market we are seeing that we're having about 16 gainers against the 12 losers as we speak in the market. For me, as the market is, despite the market is in this pullback situation for the profit, we are seeing that there are some positions that investors are still taking as we speak. But we look at the top losers now. Right now, we are seeing that CWG is the one leading in terms of the those in red, and which we call them the decliners as we speak, followed by UPC red, which is a UPDC real estate trust investment, and followed by Julius Vega. Julius Vega were not surprised profit taking, and this pullback an opportunity. Also, Conhold PSC at 1.42 pullback again profit taking. Also, Sunu Assurance. These are the the top losers. But if you turn to the gainers right now, you can see that the oil sector is leading. We are seeing that corn oil, as a result of 10.50 Google declared earlier, which we shared or discussed on Wednesday. Sorry, you can see that the stock is still up by 10%. 2 days now have given to 20% return, followed by Veterans Capital up by also 9.5%, 1.15 Kobo. This is stock that have tested 104 pullback as a result of profit taking down to 92 Kobo. Is back now to 1.15 Kobo, surpassing the 1 naira 4 Kobo that it did. As this now is a new high that we are seeing this stock, and this is the highest price we are seeing in the history of the stock, followed by that communication up by 9.1 to trading around 48 Kobo, we're seeing University Press, despite they are paying just 2.5 kobo, we're seeing that the price is still up in terms of corporate action they just announced recently, up by 9%, followed by Owando. Owando is doing 1 naira 40 kobo up at 16 naira 90 kobo after it had tested 17 naira 5 kobo this morning. Good one, 9% up for Owando. These are the stocks that investors are really taking position. Then in terms of volume, Owando is really in terms of volume, which is activities, 44.7 million share traded so far, followed by ICO. ICO have crossed on 1 naira 10 kobo recently now, trading at 1 naira 15 kobo, traded 26.14 million share as we speak. Charms traded 14.5 million shares, followed by Conhol 12.4 million shares, and Japan Gold 11.7 million shares at 1 naira 82 kobo. These are the in terms of activities. These are the top 5 as we speak. Yes, quickly we'll come back to our chart. Like I've said that we're looking at what momentum and time frame, and I've just given you this is the time frame for what for a monthly chart. You can see that from the month of April in 2020, market has remained in the green. If you take a trend line here, that this is an uptrend. Despite little adjustment, pullback, after profit taking, it continued down. This is a monthly chart that is also in a what we call a higher time frame compared to weekly and daily and 1 hour chart. For you can see on a monthly chart, the market remains very strong. Let's call up other indicators that will help us also to understand the momentum and time frame that we are saying, because momentum is very, very key. Any price action with weak momentum won't go far, but price action with strong momentum can tell you that it's heading somewhere. That's why I don't joke with my key line when it comes to what taking or trading. It helped me to know that the stock is at a support level or at a resistance level. It will help you. If you look at your T line now, looking at 1 hour a month time frame, you can see that the T line from here to here, you can see that it has been the index action has been above the T line. It's only twice I came down here before the next week it is up and it remained above T line. That the market is still very, very strong. But other year from 2017, here you can see it here, after market is down for 2015, 2014, 2015, 2014, 2016. In 2017, so the market picked up. Then before it started coming down in 2018 and 2019 to before 2020 it picked up again. You can see that when it was coming down in 2019, the market was below what the T line. But in 2017, market was above the T line. You can see in 2014 to 2016, market was below what the T line on a monthly time frame. But for 2011 to 2014, market was still up above the T line. You can see that it helps you to know. Also, if you look at your MACD, you can see all this what we call histogram. It also gives you a lot of information. I see that from 2020, MACD had gone bullish because it's staying above what the signal line. It's only two occasions that it came down before the signal line. Before you know it, it's up again. You can see that all the way from here, MACD have been what this starts to know that there's strong momentum in the market on a monthly chart time frame. You quickly go back to look at what is it saying on a weekly time frame. Also, for this period, that will give you a clear direction. Also, on a weekly time frame, you can see that from 2021, you can see look at 2021 when the market remained flat. See that momentum came down here. You can see that the momentum was low. You can see that the blue one crossed down, and you can see that the MACD is below what the signal line. That is a bearish MACD. All this while it remained below it. But in 2022, you can see it here around in 2022 around November, you saw that there was a cross here, a major cross there, and since then you see that market has remained above the T line on a weekly chart. You can see it here on the weekly chart. It only came down recently, in the month of May, when you see that it came down. For now, it's also trying to break out. You can see it didn't stay above. It came up now. As we speak, it's flat on a T line on a weekly time frame. But you can see that on the graphic, because of market has crossed down here, that MACD is what is bearish on the weekly time frame. If you look at it, look at where the histogram. But the good thing is that look at the histogram, it's also ascending up. Tell that momentum is changing. Once it crossed to the other side and this blue one crossed the red one, that will confirm another bullish trend on the weekly chart. But because of our time, if you look at what is happening on a daily time frame. On the different, you can see that the market has also been up here all this while, which you can see the momentum is high here. But it crossed down, when it crossed, even when it was up here, it was, but when it finally crossed, you can see here that it was, even when market tried to, what we call consolidate here, down, up here, but market, I tell you that didn't work already, because it become a bearish MACD, momentum become weak. Even when it was trending here, momentum was already weak. That's why I have to give in. But when it came up here, you saw also an uptrend there. But right away, the market is trading, or market is trading on top of the key line on a daily time frame. But the momentum has also remained a bit flat. Here, negative here, because you can see that it is trading below the key line here, which also you are not surprised to see that momentum is down. It's a weak momentum. But now that market is on a flat flow, which is when market is ranging for a range bound, both traders, operators, most of them are not making money because there's no enough peep or enough word oscillation or enough space to go up and down. Market is ranging and activities are low. But if you look at also your volume, it's very, very important. Even when the market is trending, but that relatively, the some of the days that market was trading above the average traded volume, because most times they are also below it. These are the things that all eyes are what on the any season to bring the expected what change in what a momentum, change in volatility, change in liquidity, and change in reaction. These are also makes any season more active than most traders trade in any season. And this is for what for a day. Finally, we look at what 4 hours chart. That's very, very important to me to give us another dimension, another information. This is a forward chart you are taking. Almost can see that market has been trading for a while. Even from the month of May, if I look at it, even though below the T line, it came up right from May. You can see it here. There have been a market trending or ranging market looking for a breakaway. Even that in the month of May, May close positive, while June also close marginally positive. In this June is where we see that the numbers will review. That will where we see portfolio reshuffling, sector rotation will continue. Indeed, what we have seen so far. Because at that time, after seeing number half-year results, you should know where you should position for the end of the year. And these are the things that will be driving the market up and down, not in the market, which also will need to also work very well as trader or investor. Yes, on this note, because of our time, I will say thank you. But before finally I do that, I want to look at the stock that let's look at Owando, how it's going. I know that my time is already giving me a sign, but I want to tell you that I can see the momentum of Owando on what on a 4 hours chart. You can see what Owando have done this morning. It has gone as far, but now pulling up, but also try to resist decline. But this moment, this candlestick we are seeing here, if we were to be in invert, that is a weak candlestick. But now it has came down here, but reverse of that means buyers are taking position. Even when it has tested down here, move up again. It's a good one, and then see profit taking. And MACD is not looking bad. It's also very, very strong, positive MACD. For me, let's watch and see what is happening in the Owando. For those that know Owando, if you are in profit, not to talk about. If you are in any position, not to take you to buy. You can see on a day chart, you can see what we are seeing here in terms of momentum. Look at your MACD. Your MACD is already confirming that a bullish MACD for the stock. And you can see what the blue and plus in the red one is a good sign for investors to watch out. But finally, because of, let me look at what is happening in Veteran Capital so that we can also know. When I said insurance company, so what is happening in a Cornerstone, that's what is happening in a Cornhall, Name Insurance, Mansard. These are places we should also keep our eyes. This morning was also that this stock has touched 1 naira 50 kobo. The speak now is doing 1 naira 40 kobo. Also try to resist decline. You can see the momentum we are seeing here on MACD. This is the momentum that is very, very important. Look at where it started here. Remain above the key line. For let's say the date here is almost around since on the 3rd of June. You can see that it has continued to trade up after trending for all this while. You can see when it stopped consolidate for a while like this, it's either a breakout up or down. Also, you can look at it also here. After you also consolidated all this while, what you saw here was a breakout. That's why you must learn how to trade your chart. And like I said, most times don't trade the news, trade the chart. When you trade the chart, you see a lot of opportunity in the chart because it is the chart that gives you more information when it comes to trading, because it reviews the information and the activities of the people in the market. That's why you must keep your eyes on your chart. On this note, I will say thank you. See you on Monday, hopefully by God's grace. For Q&A, we look forward to discuss a lot tomorrow on Q&A. we are seeing market dynamics changing. We need to position on it. Which sector, which industry that we should also position is very, very key for us as well as trader and investor. We'll discuss in detail on this tomorrow, hopefully by God's grace. On this note, I say bye. See you tomorrow, those in the Q&A session. But for free class, we'll meet on Monday by God's grace. Bye.